Hello, welcome to another episode of Fighting Game Fridays. Again, I am your host, Nick Silviano, and now we're doing what I like to consider my favorite Street Fighter game in the entire series, Street Fighter Alpha 2. Yeah, that's right. So if anybody ever asked me, hey Nick, what's your favorite Street Fighter game in the entire series, I would say this one. So yeah, basically Street Fighter Alpha 2, an updated version of the first Street Fighter Alpha game. Introduced a few more characters and made a few other ones not so hidden, much like Akuma right here, who was a hidden character in the first game, a hidden boss character if you fulfill certain conditions. But in Alpha 2, they finally decided, hey, you can play this guy like a normal character. Wasn't that nice of them? And of course, you see you got other characters that came from other fighting series. From the Final Fight series makes his debut in here. Actually, pretty much well, there's like another guy from the fighting series. What am I trying to say here? Yeah, the Admiral Lento too. He was another evil boss character from the Street Fighter Alpha series. And if you look in the background there, you can tell they're kind of in Metro City. There you see Guy in the background with, I'm guessing his girlfriend, or maybe Guy's girlfriend, I don't know. There's Mike Hager back there putting some dude in the choke lock, and there's Hugo? That's right, Hugo's making an appearance in the background of the Street Fighter Alpha games. Now, obviously a lot of references to Final Fight back there, so yeah. There you go, and also making his return is Dhalsim. Yes, a few more characters from Street Fighter Alpha, from the Street Fighter 2 series finally make a return here in the Street Fighter Alpha, making reappearances. If you look in the intro, you'd also notice that Zangief is also in this game. He does not show up during this little playthrough, but I thought I'd throw that in there. So yeah, he's one of the returning characters from Street Fighter Alpha. Street Fighter Alpha. Damn it! I'm just messing this up. From Street Fighter 2, along with Zangief and Chun-Li. And Sagat, who is in Street Fighter 1 and 2. So yeah, so basically not much has changed in the gaming system. I mean, you still got your levels of super combo there, and the level used depends on how many buttons you push. Like I said, for example, for level 1, you would hit 1 punch button. For level 2, you would hit 2, and for 3, you would hit 3. As you can see, I actually want to do this playthrough as Dan, but it didn't work. I'm like way out of practice with him. I'm like way out of practice with this game. I used to play this game like all the time when I finally got the Anthology Edition, the Street Fighter Alpha Anthology Edition, which is where this came from, PS2 version. I don't know if there was an Xbox version at the time. I don't remember. But yeah, also Ken making his appearance, and if you look in the background of this stage, you also see a couple of different cameos in the background. Some of these people I just can't seem to identify. If you look right there, there's Captain Commando, Capcom's long-forgotten mascot. Looks like he's standing next to Ken's girlfriend. If you look there's Morgan from the Darkstalker series, sitting back there. We'll get to the point in a minute, but you'll see, what's his name? Strider holding a teddy bear back there. And does various poses for whatever reason. And, what's her name? Felicia is hanging out in the pool. Ken is, well, still a dick. I mean, the AI for the Shotos in this game has always been just like a pain in the ass, screw you to any player. Like, fuck you, Ken, get out of here. And Akuma has a couple of different combos there, including the Raging Demon, which you can use. And let's see, what else was there? So anyway, the reason why I like this game the most out of all the Street Fighter games is, I really don't know why. I guess I just like everything about it. The animation, the sound effects, the gameplay, the interaction with some of the other characters. The animation, I thought all that was pretty neat. When I first played this game, the first time I played this game, it was actually on the Super Nintendo. Because there was a compressed Super Nintendo version that my friend bought, and he let me borrow it. I was like, here, you can borrow this game. and I was playing it. I was like, "Hey, this game's pretty bad." Except on the Super Nintendo, it was pretty horrible. It was slow. It actually had loading times. The screen wasn't full. It was still pretty good for a Super Nintendo game by Super Nintendo standards, but if we were to play like this version and then play the Super Nintendo version, you'd be pretty upset. And as I said, Rolento makes an appearance, another Final Fight character, Final Fight boss character, makes his debut in the Street Fighter Alpha series, and eventually makes a return in Street Fighter X Tekken for whatever reason. I have a cool little Rolento story. I was playing against him, and I was playing Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold. There's a version I will get to eventually. I'm not going to do that one next, but I'll probably do it somewhere down the road. I was playing Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold, and he does that. I was playing as Ryu, I shot the Shinku Hadouken, and at the same time he did his super combo. Now, one of his super combos is he keeps dropping grenades. He rolls and drops grenades, and if you keep hitting, you keep getting blown up by the grenades if they hit you. So he's rolling along, dropping grenades. I'm getting bombarded with the grenades, but at the same time, like, the Shinku Hadouken is following both of us across the screen. It's going around the same time as we're both going across the screen, and eventually the fireball catches up with Rolento and takes him out, and I win the round. I thought it was like one of the most awesome things that ever happened in the game. I wish I could have showed how that happened. So yeah, Saddam, of course, makes another appearance. Yay. Saddam, the white guy who really wants to be Japanese. That is his truck in the background. He has some really weird truck that like really celebrates Japanese culture or whatever. Man, I had a hell of a time putting this one together. The first time I rendered it, it was just slow as hell. Like, it didn't come out well, and the second time I tried to do it, it just wouldn't do it in widescreen. I don't know why. Usually when I do these, I upgrade them to upscale them a bit to widescreen, and it was just not doing it with this one, so this is the version I'm going to be stuck with. I'm kind of messing with it. Like I said in the past, Pinnacle Studios, you can be such a pain in my ass sometimes. So, yeah, basically it was a pretty quick playthrough, and Sagat again makes his appearance. There's 2 fights before you get to your boss character, which in the first 2 versions of Street Fighter Alpha, it's a rival. They do bring out the rival thing in Street Fighter Alpha 3, but it has an actual boss, which is Shin Bison. And oh my god, do I hate Shin Bison? So should you. But we'll find out when we get to Street Fighter Alpha 3, which would be the next episode, obviously. Foreshadowing. So Sagat once again makes his appearance in the Street Fighter Alpha series. I seriously think at this point the game was screwing with me. Because the first round, Sagat just kind of stood there and took all the punishment I gave to him. He didn't really do anything. I was able to take him out, no problem. And then I get to round 2 and all of a sudden he's moving. He becomes animated. He decides to throw his fucking tiger shots across him like he always does. It's a guy. Every game he's like that. And he pretty much able to take me out in this one, had me kind of pissed, but I eventually got back to him. I only actually had to continue once in this whole playthrough. Most of the other playthroughs I had to like do a few more continues because like I'm not as into the games I used to be. I used to play this game like all the time when I first got it. And I could just kick ass through the whole thing. Oh, alpha counter! That's something I didn't bring up. Like, for the cost of a piece of power bar, you can do an alpha counter, where you can actually counter out of a move and knock them back. So that was a pretty good... I think they had it in the first Alpha 2, it just didn't... I mean, the first Street Fighter Alpha version, but it didn't come up. And now here we are at M. Bison, who in this game is a pushover. He's an actual selectable character and still kind of a boss character for certain bosses. But here he just plays a minor role. He's just a fight before the final fight. They didn't really put a lot of emphasis on bosses in this game. It was pretty much just like a side story to the Street Fighter series. In the first one, he was either a hidden character or he'd be a boss character, but he was still like pretty much the same character. And here, He's finally just a selectable character. Nothing special at all about him. He just makes an appearance throughout your playthrough, and to be there before you get to the rival battle. So yeah, not much of a difference between Street Fighter Alpha and Street Fighter Alpha 2, just a few more minor improvements, a couple of more characters, and stuff like that. The only new character that really came out of the first 2 Alpha games was Rose. Other than that, they were all just making appearances from other games, like Street Fighter Alpha 1, Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2, and stuff like that. And now, as we approach the final boss here, it's Gen, also making his appearance from the first Street Fighter game. And these two have built up quite the rivalry during the Alpha series. They both are characters who like to fight to the death. They do the little introduction here. I have no idea why Akuma even talks in parentheses. He does that during the first 2 Alpha games every time I run into him. I don't know if he's supposed to be translating Japanese, or he's just outside thinking, or maybe he doesn't actually move his lips. His voice just echoes throughout the arena. But yeah, these two are both characters looking to fight to the death, obviously, and that's why they seem to like to fight each other. Akuma is just like in it for the thrill, and Gen wants to fight to death because he's going to die anyway. Turns out he has leukemia, even though he seems to live through it for years. I guess maybe his power helps to fight it off, I don't know. But Gen apparently trained the Lee twins from the Street Fighter 3 series. He was a friend to Chun-Li's father being a cop and him used to be an assassin. But he ran into Akuma and wanted to fight him to the death. And seeing that Akuma likes to fight people to the death, he was more than happy to oblige. I really messed up in this fight right here. I could have done so much better. But due to my little screw up, Gen gets to make a little comeback here. I guess I was trying to input the Raging Demon, and it didn't work out too well. So he got a little, kind of gotten in there on me, but in the end I was able to take him out. No big problem. And I answered his super combo with a combo of my own. So yeah, and here we're at the end where he was expecting him to either kill him or he was gonna like do some kind of strike to kill him, but Akuma senses that, hey, he's sick. He realized that Gen is sick, and he would take Akuma, despite all his evilness. Really, it does have some kind of weird twisted code of honor where he doesn't, like, he didn't kill Gen because he didn't think it would be honor in killing a sick guy anyway. So here he is talking about how all his worthy opponents. Here comes Bison. Here comes Ryu. And there was Gen. And that's his ending. So that's basically it for Street Fighter Alpha 2. Short game. But fun play if you can get other people to play with you. So that's pretty much it. That has been another edition of Fighting Game Fridays, and I'll see you next week.